I'm going to talk this morning about empty seats and broken hearts. Empty seats and broken hearts. And I trust that this message will find a sweet spot in your soul. It's going to be full of some facts and some stats again this morning. And I realize that doesn't pertain to everybody, and not all of you are excited about facts and stats. But again, we're looking at the vital signs of any congregation. There's some things you need to know regarding facts and stats about churches today. And I want to start off by asking a series of questions because that's my nature, first of all. But secondly, I find that when I ask questions, most people, their brain begins to work with me, and we get along a lot better when I'm talking, okay? So a couple questions this morning. I'm not going to spoon feed you this morning. Okay, we're going to answer some questions, not out loud, but just to yourself. Now, if you feel like you need to answer them out loud, that's okay. Maybe you need to do that between you and Jesus. I'm not requiring that this morning, but I do want you to ask a couple of questions, such as, why should I go to church? You might think that's very elementary and almost reflective of the very fact that you're here. But it's a good question to ask. Why should I go to church? Or how about this? What's the church that belongs to Jesus supposed to look like? What's it supposed to look like? And then how does a person recognize a healthy church? If you were to come into this church for the very first time today, and we have some of those with us, so thank you so much for being with us today. What would a healthy church look like? Some churches look like this. Let me give an illustration. True story. His name is Joe. He's a coach of a Little League baseball team. On a regular basis, Coach Joe grew tired of all the mumbling and the complaining from his Little Leaguers as they left the dugout. And I might add, scuffing their feet and dragging their spikes all the way. For 3 years in a row, every time the Little Leaguers ran out of the dugout and onto the field, Coach was bombarded with statements like this. Coach, Mark keeps dropping the ball. You've noticed, right? Come on, Coach. Let me pitch today so we can finally win a game. Coach, I'm tired of playing in the outfield. Been there all season. Coach, I'm not catching if Jimmy's pitching. Now, with that kind of contagious morale, Joe wasn't at all surprised that for 3 seasons, his team had not won one game. Did you know that the church that Jesus lived and died for is a team of T-ball players? Little leaguers, minor leaguers, and major leaguers. And the success of Jesus' church depends on the commitment of every player. The church wins when its players or its members learn how to encourage and cheer each other forward in faith. I know, and maybe some of you know, that Coach Jesus knows if his team does not put forth a unified effort, it will fail whenever it takes the field of life. Truth is, every player chooses to cheer or complain. Every player chooses to either encourage or criticize. Every player chooses to laugh or groan. Honestly, if the church listens to the coach, his name is Jesus, every player, watch this, can shut out the devil every time. And for those who don't know and haven't been reminded lately, you need to know the church team is incomplete without you. And did you also know that Father God has designed it that way? This team is incomplete without you. Just for the record, you are the #1 draft pick of Father God.